Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Ushio to Tora. We once again get more hints at the in-game boss, Hakumen. And soon as I saw this name once again dropped in this episode, I started thinking about the situation, because the way the demon was talking about it just goes to show you how scary this Hakumen is for the demon to say what he did. So let's, talk about the dialogue. So before this air yokai demon died in this episode, he says, I guess it's not so bad. I mean, at the very least I wouldn't have to meet him. And so for that yokai to even say that, even though this yokai is on the verge of death, about to die, he says, I guess this is better than meeting that person. And for someone on death's door to even say that, it just goes to show you how strong this person is and how scary said person is for it to scare a yokai when they're on their deathbed. And they're like, I'd rather die than actually meet this person. So that was one thing that was dropped in this episode that I wonder how scary this person really is. For a yokai like that to say that, I just wonder what type of yokai. Does it look similar to what Tora is, or is it something else entirely? I mean, I have a lot of questions about that, but for that to be kind of dropped in this episode, I wonder. So, besides that, the episode of Ushio to Tora, whoa. This episode, for the most part, it's the same thing we have gotten over and over, but there is a couple things I really need to talk about that kind of irked me just a little bit, okay? I understand this is an old series, I've said that many times. I think we all know this is from the 1990s, so we need to look past some things that we're used to nowadays and how some things might be cliche. But I will say this, however, when it came to this episode, especially when it came to the scene of the girl in the plane and then not liking her father and said, oh, you killed my father, you're the murderer, and I don't believe in this stupid story you're saying, the girl was saying that in the plane. Well, the entire event of that, I couldn't wrap my mind around that entire event to really care. I'm sorry, I really couldn't. I mean, it was a good episode at its core, I just couldn't really care about the girl, because it's something that felt way too fast, in my opinion, because the way she, at the first part of the episode, she's like, oh, I can't believe you're a murderer, and then around, 10 minutes in, literally 10 minutes in, not even the entire episode, but 10 minutes in, she already has a change of mindset where she believes the dude and is like, oh, you're not a murderer, I trust you, I love you, and I'm thinking, I'm just not a big fan of those type of stories. I'm really not, because I've seen those a lot, and just when it comes to the way it was executed in this episode, I just don't really like that. I couldn't care about the girl. I really couldn't. So, episode overall, though, when it came to the story and what it was about, it's what we have gotten used to, of Ushio to Tora. I mean, it was, instead of being near the school or somewhere in the town where, Ushio lives, it was on a plane, and I guess there was no snakes on the plane this time, but we had demons on a plane. Puns aside, let's just say that this episode of Ushio to Tora, it's an okay episode, so to say. I mean, it was fun, but it was nothing, so to say, that was the best I have seen from this series, because there's been many episodes I've already seen. For instance, last week's episode, that was fucking amazing, one of the best episodes of the series. This episode probably is one of the weakest episodes, I think, out of Ushio to Tora. I think it is, because overall, I just did not like the girl, the way she acted. That's my only complaint. Besides that, though, episode, pretty good. Animation-wise, there was some derps here and there, actually, I did notice. I did notice a few derps on Ushio when he was talking, and I was like, whoa, his eyes, I saw one part in the background where Ushio's eyes were kind of fucked up and all that, and I'm like, oh my. So, besides that, it's okay. Tell me your thoughts, though. I mean, how do you all feel about this week's episode of Ushio to Tora? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.